Today we're tackling a really common issue, a type of headache lots of us know, but maybe underestimate sometimes.
Definitely.
It's a scenario you, especially if you're in FY2, are almost guaranteed to see. Think student health, GP practice. It pops up everywhere.
It really does. And we've looked at, quite a few sources, including medical exam prep materials, to figure out the best way to handle it.
Exactly. The goal here is to help you get straight to the point, figure out if it's something simple or potentially serious, and give some solid, non-judgy advice. Ready to unpack this.
Let's do it. It's fascinating how often this presents, particularly with younger people. It's almost a classic exam question because it tests that critical thinking in a, well, seemingly simple situation.
Right. So picture this. You're in the GP clinic. A 19-year-old student comes in, maybe looking a bit rough, complaining about a bad headache. Where do you start? First steps.
Okay, so first, the basics. Quick intro, confirm who they are, their age, and then just, what brings you in today. Chances are they'll mention this headache started in the morning, maybe after a night out.
Ah, the night out clue.
That's often the trigger, yeah. And that's your signal to really start digging into the specifics. Using something structured, like the Socrates framework, is super helpful here.
Socrates, yeah, good old reliable. Quick recap for everyone. Site, onset, character, radiation, associated symptoms, timing, exacerbating relieving factors, and severity. So applying that here, what usually comes up?
Well, with this type of headache, the site is often described as like all over the head, not really one-sided.
Yeah, okay.
And the character, usually throbbing or maybe a dull pressure, not typically sharp or stabbing.
Got it. Onset.
Onset is usually when they wake up, and associated symptoms often include feeling a bit sick, nausea, maybe sensitive to light, photophobia, sometimes a bit dizzy too. But the real clincher is often the context. The night before, usually some kind of celebration, big match, birthday party, that sort of thing.
Right. And that brings us to the alcohol question. How do you ask about that sensitively? It can be a bit awkward.
Yeah, you need to be gentle, not accusatory at all, more like just curious. So what were you up to last night? Or maybe, can you tell me a bit about what you drank, how much? That's sort of usual for you.
Okay, keeping it open.
Exactly. And crucially, you need to ask about things like memory gaps, any confusion, were they vomiting a lot, any blackouts. That's not just being nosy. It helps rule out more serious stuff like acute alcohol poisoning.
Right, makes sense. So the typical picture is forming. But, and this is vital, before settling on the diagnosis, what are the absolute must-not-miss things, the red flags?
Okay, yeah, this is super important. You have to actively screen for serious conditions. Think subarachnoid hemorrhage, meningitis, maybe a concussion if there was a fall, even carbon monoxide poisoning.
So, specific questions for those.
Absolutely. You ask things like, is this the worst headache you've ever had in your life? Did it come on really suddenly like a clap of thunder?
Yeah.
Any neck stiffness, fever. Did you happen to hit your head last night? And a key one, if they live with others, has anyone else in your house felt unwell or had headaches? That last one's a quick check for CO exposure.
Okay, thorough check done. Let's say you're feeling pretty confident it is just a hangover. How do you tell the patient without sounding dismissive or preachy?
Keep it straightforward and empathetic. Something like, okay, based on everything you've told me, this really sounds like a hangover headache. It's actually incredibly common after drinking alcohol.
And maybe explain why a little.
Yeah. A brief, simple explanation helps. You could say it's a bit more complex than just being dehydrated, actually.
Yeah.
Alcohol makes you lose fluids and important salts, yes, but it also affects blood vessels in the brain, causing them to widen, which contributes to that throbbing. Plus, it can mess with your brain chemicals a bit. So it's kind of a multi-hit thing leading to the headache.
That explanation feels more helpful than just saying it's a hangover. So, management. First line of advice for feeling better right now.
First, simple painkillers like paracetamol, if they haven't tried it already. But the absolute #1 thing is hydration.
Water, water, water.
Exactly. Sip water steadily. Getting rehydrated is key. If they're still feeling really rough, maybe suggest something sugary, like fruit juice, or even a chocolate bar for a quick energy boost.
And food.
Yeah, something easy on the stomach. Starchy foods like toast or pasta can help, or even like a salty bouillon soup that helps replace lost salts too.
Good tips. And thinking longer term, how about prevention advice for next time, without sounding like you're telling them off?
It's all about practical tips, not a lecture. Suggest things like, maybe next time try not to drink on an empty stomach, or alternating alcoholic drinks with water can really make a difference.
Yeah, the water trick.
And having a big glass of water before you go to sleep can help too. It's about giving them tools, empowering them.
Makes sense. And finally, the safety net. Absolutely crucial. What do you tell them?
You have to be crystal clear here. Tell them directly. Look, if this headache gets much worse, or if you start vomiting persistently, feel really confused, faint, or have any problems with your vision, don't just wait. You need to come straight back to see us or go to A&E.
No messing about if those things happen.
None at all. And always give them written information or a leaflet if you can. They're likely feeling groggy. They won't remember everything. I have seen, thankfully not often, cases where what looked like a standard hangover was actually masking something serious. So safety netting is non-negotiable.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to PLAB Talks. We'd love to hear your feedback, and we'll be continuing the headache series in the next episode. Stay curious, and see you soon.